All right, guys, give me 1 second. All right, guys, y'all gotta give me a second. John's having a little trouble getting in here real quick. We got more and more people joining. There it is. There we go.
Hey,
Hey, Tony.
how you doing?
Good, good.
Good.
Guess when I just saw John pop up over here in the weight room.
I'm in this joint. What's
Hey, there
good?
he is. My guy, how you doing?
I'm doing excellent. Sasha, did you get that that PDF that I just sent to you?
Let me pull up an email right now. Hold up. No, I don't have. Let me just make sure. From your admin email.
Indeed.
Here, John, I'm gonna send you a quick email real quick. Send it back over.
All right.
I'm not seeing it. All right, go ahead and send it back. I'll get that pulled up for you. All right.
All right, perfection. Let's see.
How's everybody doing today? Oh, y'all gonna have to talk today.
All right, they shy. Y'all might have to mute the mic.
I'm good. How y'all doing? I'm good.
Hey,
Doing
real estate
great.
agents,
Wow.
life is good for us right now. There's people not blessed as much as we're blessed. We're in positions that others are just dream about. You know, we're out there making dreams happen for others, and we're out there being blessed ourselves. So if you're a realtor and you're above the ground, it's a good day for you. It should be. And if it's not, go make it a good day.
Absolutely.
Amen, friend.
Agreed.
I don't get the drab. I don't do the drab. It's too good. I've been in some dark places now. I'm in a much, much better place. So we want to thank you all for coming. This is our first mastermind for the year. Thank everyone for coming. I am so excited of what we're doing here. And let me just say this is going across brokerages. Okay. Obviously, I am with EXP. How you guys doing? My name is Sascha Chatman. I am an EXP Icon agent. I also go by the Real Estate Tech Ninja because I love anime and I love teaching people about real estate. Okay. And then Disney would probably sue me. I used to go by on Real Estate Tech Jedi and they didn't like that. So we're not going to do the Jedi stuff anymore. So here's the deal. What you're here for is a mastermind around new construction. This is going to be the first of many that we're going to be doing. Okay, I'm part of a wonderful network inside of EXP called the Honey Badger Nation. Even more locally, we have the Money Badgers with my girl Chauncey Pham. I know Nick Good and Chauncey Pham are on here as well. So that is our EXP network. But beyond EXP, we just want to help agents, period, right? So John and I have been having this conversation for quite some time about just getting out there, sharing information and talking to other agents and just, you know, giving them the knowledge that we have and those who are out there who have been blessed. So before I introduce John, first we want to know who is in the room. Who do we have? If you could do this in the chat, let us know what brokers you're from, what area you're in, what city. Okay, real quick, if you can let us know who you are and we understand who we actually have on the call. And then we'll ask you guys a couple more questions about your business real quick, okay? So let's go ahead and get that going in the chat, and let's just see who we actually have up in this joint.
Go ahead and represent y'all hood, y'all brokerage and all.
Hey guys, I got kicked out of my own meeting. Lord have mercy.
Like, where'd you go?
Zoom, man, technology don't want to work with us sometimes. I do apologize for that. That stuff is going to happen. I don't know. We got good internet though. All righty. We're gonna keep it moving though, in the interest of time. All righty. Let's get us going here.
So, Sascha, let me ask a question. I know when I'm talking, I really don't like just talking to myself or talking like I'm the one that knows everything. I know some things, but not everything. So what do you think would be the best way to get response from the attendees today? Do you think that it would be asking everybody to submit their comments in the comment section? Or is it kind of like a unmute your mic and talk type thing? Like
I think we do a combination of both. If you're in a very noisy background, obviously just use a chat, please, for respect of others. If you're not in a place where puppy's not crying, baby's not crying, all that, unmute yourself here. So sorry about what just happened earlier. We got kicked off there. So, but I think that would be the best way, John, for us to kind of get it out there. So here's the deal. John he's going to share his knowledge. So let's first talk about who is John Williams. All right. So John, can you real quick recap your journey into real estate? What made you get into real estate and where you are right now? What's the state of your business?
So I got into real estate when I was 19 years old. I had an aunt/family member who said that I have a good personality for it. I said, okay, that's fine, cool. At 19, I had a full ride scholarship, and while fulfilling my degree, I dabbled a bit into getting my real estate license after my aunt thought that I'd be a good fit because I was doing a lot of multi-level marketing. I would have like mixers and things at my apartment, and she was like, "Oh, you'll be real good at real estate." So I get my real estate license, and after the first year, I decided that I wanted to go change my major from nursing to marketing. And then in that second year of using my free money and scholarship, I say, well, I wonder what I could do if I was a real realtor. And I actually went all in. So I quit my job. As they say, I burnt all my ships. Honestly, I think I was about to get fired because that lady was not working with my class schedule at all. And I don't know if y'all remember who all on the line, but back in the day when you used to go out and turn up and you had to get up in the morning. But, so I was out until like 5 or 4 o'clock in the morning. And then I knew I had to be at work at 6:37 when I was working in a hospital. So I was working 12-hour shifts as a patient caretaker, right? Long story. I was working as a patient caretaker, taking vital signs. I had to be up at the butt crack of dawn. And I had just been out clubbing and partying all night as a college student. And I would come in there like, and I was consistent with my lateness, y'all. I was like 10 to 15 minutes late every single time. Well, the lady just would not rearrange my schedule around my lifestyle, my studying, and my partying. So I was consistent 10 to 15 minutes late every single day. I'm rushing and speeding to work. Well, I felt I was going to get fired anyways.
You wasn't made to work for anybody else.
I beat her to it. I said, you know
Yeah.
what? I'm gonna see what I can do in this real estate because you know, I've got my scholarship going. I've been studying for a real estate license, and I feel I'm about to get fired anyways. So somebody got to pay these bills. So let me get on it for real and stop playing. So I just jumped into real estate all the way, and yeah, I'm gonna say I was a broke agent for 5 years. I've been in real estate for 10 years.
Speak on that real quick. So I know a little bit more of your story, but these guys don't. The first 5 years you struggled. Why do you think that was?
What was it?
I said, why do you think your struggle was for the first 5 years?
I think I struggled so much for the first 5 years because I didn't have any value. I didn't have a strong value proposition. Saturated industry. Everybody, especially right now, just to speak on present, wants to get into real estate. I think the averages for how many realtors there are in America have always been high. So it's oversaturated, and I was just another realtor, right? And I didn't have a true value to give to people other than, hey, I'm a realtor, pick me, pick me. It wasn't until I actually changed from pick me, or doing the, I call it hunting tactics. Instead of hunting now, I fish. So I have bait, I have my value, I give my value and wait for the people to come to me. And that was the biggest thing that changed for me. So, but for 5 years, I struggled. It was bad. It was bad.
You know, John, I kind of had something similar for my first couple of years in real estate. You know, I really wasn't that serious about it. You know, and I had to really realize that I was part of my problem. I was the problem. I'm a super control freak. I'd be the first one to admit it. And if you want to be the boss, you got to pay the cost. And I wasn't ready to step up the way I needed to step up. But when stuff went bad, and you and I've talked about this, when stuff went bad and I needed my next paycheck to pay the rent, to pay everything. Oh, buddy, you'd be surprised how much time you can find. You'd be surprised how many people you can dial. You'd be surprised how many objections you can overcome and how good you can be when your back is against the wall, you know? And so I've here's the thing, guys. John doesn't know this, but I've been watching what John's doing for a long time. When I first got into business, I came across an ad that John was running. I believe it was new construction or whatever. And he had a course at the time as well. And I was like, okay, who was this guy? And so I find people that I admire as an agent. And then I say, let me chase that person down. Let me try to catch them in sales. And I literally make up a story in my mind, like, I got to catch this person. John's just not hearing this. He was one of these people that I was watching. Okay. And I said, okay, what is he doing? What makes this person so good? And I went the next step, guys, not just looking at people on Facebook and Instagram, because all of us look good like we're balling out of control and selling a lot of houses on the gram, right? I pulled the man's numbers. And when I saw his numbers, I was like, all right, he can sell. So you decide to get up in the game here in real estate. So 5 years from then, after that, you got super serious and your business has just exploded. Can you explain and tell everyone about your business?
Sascha, because first of all, y'all, I said I quit my job, so I've been super serious. I was super seriously broke, and I'm super serious about trying to figure out how to make real estate work. I was doing a lot of, like I said, I was hunting. So, you know, I don't know who I'm speaking to, but I was always serious. I was working from sun up to sundown. I was the first one in the office, the last one in the office. I can script you better than the people who taught the scripts. So I started at 19. So I literally had I'm in it to learn. What they say, you gotta learn before you earn. So I was like, okay, if I can just be a student of this real estate stuff, I'm gonna do everything that they tell me to do, even if I gotta get on side of the street and spin a sign, you know how that go? So I was like doing the script script classes. I had like coaches. I was broke too. And I was doing all these things. But in turn, my business, as you was getting to, it didn't change until I had a strong value proposition And just to put out there at the very beginning, I don't do cold calls anymore, even though I'm still very skillful at doing so. If y'all want to have a cold call challenge or objection challenge, I can handle you. But I do not do that anymore because it gave me post-traumatic stress, right? I don't want to talk to nobody who don't want to talk to me. I don't want to do it.
I understand that.
Then I don't do open houses. I stopped doing open houses 5 years ago. And I think that was huge because I'm not saying open houses don't work. They do work. However, there's a better way. And I think a lot of us felt that when COVID first hit 2 years ago, because nobody was letting you hold open houses. So it was like, now what do we do? Right? So I don't do cold calls. I don't do open houses. I don't pay for leads. What else don't I do? I don't do for sale by owners. They got on my last nerve. But some people love that stuff. They love it. They love a good objection. They love to be told no until they get their yes. I'm not doing it. You know, it all gave me post-traumatic stress. So the things that I do now, literally, I cast bait and the fish come to me. And that's what truly changed my business. So I was always serious, Sascha. I was just broke. I was just,
I get that.
Myself out.
Okay.
I just had to correct you because you said he didn't get. Oh no, we've been serious.
Well, I mean, I guess I was projecting myself. There was a time where I felt that I really wasn't serious about my real estate business, not in comparison to what I am now, right?
Yeah.
I eat, sleep this thing every day. So real quick, I want anyone to put in the chat real quick. What's the state of your business? How much have you done in annual volume in sales? So we understand exactly who we're talking to on the call. So if anyone could put that in the chat real quick, let's go around, just put it in there. It's okay. Okay. We ain't trying to mess with no one's number. Okay. I see 0 up in there from one person. You know what I'm saying? We all have started from 0 and we all have gotten up to 2 million, whatever the number may be. We got some new licensed agent. We got 3 million. There's my cousin there, Michael Chatman. Don't know if it's cousins, but we got the same last name. All right. We got a couple more zeros up in there. Let me see. Had my license since 2021. Haven't done the sale yet. 1.8 million. Shara Thompson, how you doing? That's my mentee right there. Ray knocking out 6.9. Yeah, I've been seeing you, Ray, out there. Miss Joyce, I see what you got going on.
People are pulling this up, Sascha. Can I tell this story right quick?
Go ahead. Do your
I
thing.
think it's very, very important as I look at these numbers come in, right? And I think sometimes when people hear people talking or when people are doing panels and stuff, they say, oh, it's easy for you to say because you got a name, you got things rolling, you know, whatever people think, whatever myths we have as agents as we're listening to people. However, some of the things that I'm talking about today, you literally can do it because I did see some zeros and it seems like some people were just starting out in real estate. But some of the information, so in 2018, I want to say it was, I had to completely restart my business, right? I had built this name for myself. I was doing tons of marketing. Things were going up on an uptrend. And then all of a sudden I had to rebrand my business for lack of just better ways of explaining it. And I literally saw in that time, because I saw myself go from making $20,000 to $30,000, you know, in those first 4 to 5 years, which we know is not really much of anything in real estate, because you still got to pay your taxes, you still got to pay for your car, so on and so forth, to making multiple 6 figures consistently and having a predictable income. Well, as soon as I hit this multiple 6 figure in this income, then everything falls apart and I have to rebrand my entire business. I lose my social media following. I lose my name. I lose my bank account. I literally saw, and I don't know if this is worse, to go up and then come back down, to see the mountaintop and then go back to the beginning, or just to never see it at all. So I literally saw my bank account go to 0, absolutely 0, while I had a 3,900 square foot home, an overly priced car because my credit was not good at the time that I bought the car, just had all these bills, right? And I remember just laying at home like, what in the heck am I about to do? I done lost all my money. I got to rebrand myself. I'm literally starting from ground zero. And I just want to say that because as we're talking today, I think a lot of people say, before I talk about what's happening today, some people may say, oh, well, oh, it's because John got on a blue suit. Oh, it's because John got wet and wavy hair. I don't know what people be thinking, but sometimes we just make up excuses. We be like, oh, you know, somebody else is succeeding because of whatever the reason is, not knowing the back end. So I just want to be able to share with you guys before I do share this year's numbers that I literally, before I had to restructure my entire business. And these numbers have been consistent. So it's been 3 years now that I have been rebranded. And every year I have made an additional $200,000 consistently over those past 3 years with restarting my entire business from scratch. So if you're a brand new agent, I promise you, you can do these same exact things I'm talking about today, and you don't even have to have that much experience in real estate, right? So last year, 2021, I sold and contracted $22 million in real estate as an individual agent. That's 74 homes sold. 53 of those homes were new construction homes. My average price point was $300,000. New construction home sales, that was about, let's just round it up, $16 million in new construction sales volume. And let's see, I made an additional $45,000 in new construction bonuses. That's just bonuses alone. Some people think that you are not a real realtor if you're selling new construction and you're not using your skill set or whatever to write contracts in the resale market. We'll talk about that in a minute. However, this is an above and beyond a 3% commission. So someone may take that 16 million and calculate time, multiply by 3%. However, we made more money than the average commission because we got paid $45,000 additionally in bonuses, right? So these are my entire numbers: 8 sellers, 66 buyers, and 10 buyers that fell out. They fell out and I didn't even have to fall out and lose my mind either. So I honestly didn't even feel it when their contracts didn't go through. And what I want to say about my business before I jump into this, when we're talking about new construction, I went on more trips this year in 2021 than I have ever gone in my entire adult life.
That you did.
And I was everywhere. I was in Louisiana, I was in California, I was in Colorado, I was in Washington. I went to Louisiana twice. I was just everywhere. Every time a relative called me, they're like, boy, you keep jumping on the plane. I'm like, I'm trying to live. We in a pandemic. I'm going to live. I'm going to travel. So I just want to say, because there's a myth that realtors have that says, you know what? You can only have leverage if you're working with sellers. You can only have leverage if you're working with sellers. Well, I have sold houses in this model that I'm talking about today with new construction from Florida and my cousin's house under the lanai at the pool. So, and every time I jumped on these planes, I have been selling houses with buyers without even being present or there. So someone may look at this and say, 66 buyers, that sounds like a headache, and I'm not trying to do it. Real estate can be a headache, just period. So
Well, that's the thing about real estate, guys. Real estate is hard. It doesn't have to be. It doesn't have to be completely taxing, but here's the deal. I mean, you got to suck it up and just go in this and go after it. Is it going to be hard sometimes? Yeah. Okay. Is it going to be easy sometimes? Absolutely. And for those who are just starting, let me just speak on this real quick, John. For my brand new agents out there who are just getting started, you picked a heck of a time to get into real estate. Okay. And I will just speak on this. I have seen more deals fall out last year than I saw the year before. Okay. And why is that? I saw that from various reasons of, people getting pre-approved, shouldn't have got pre-approved. That's the majority of what I saw, a lot of that, which is why it's important to have your own team and have your own squad that surrounded you. But here's the deal. You can still make this work, just like John is saying, even as a brand new agent. You have to pick what you like and what attracts you and do it. Like John just said, he doesn't cold call, okay? I cold call. I don't like to do it. I don't like doing it, but I'm pretty good at it. So if I sit there and I say I'm a cold call expires today and I go get 3 or 4 listing appointments, I feel pretty good about myself, but it's not something I want to do on a consistent basis because it's not what I enjoy. Right? I enjoy doing buyer webinars. I enjoy new construction. I enjoy listings, so whatever it is that you like in the business works. Be very, very clear. Everything works and everything doesn't work. The difference is going to be you and what you're going to put into it and how hard you're going to put your strategy to work and make it work. What John does doesn't work for me. I don't have his skill set. He doesn't have my skill set. We're 2 totally different people. We got different type of swag. We have a different audience, all of that. Okay. John is all dressed to kill. I'm a polo shirt and a baseball cap type of dude. Right. So there's so many ways to success. That's the whole point here. So real quick, I want to know in the chat, guys, what is the state of new construction in your real estate market right now? Let us know, or unmute yourself and tell us how's new construction working in your market. Don't make me call on you because I will call some names. Y'all know I do that.
Don't make
Go
them
ahead.
do it.
I just know it's a lot. popping up everywhere around me. So
Where market are you in right now?
I live in DeSoto, but yeah, I see a lot in my own neighborhood. Popping up everywhere.
So let me ask you this: you see a lot in your neighborhood. Do these folks know you? Do these salespeople know you? Know who you are?
No, not yet.
All right, that sounds like you need to go make a connection there.
Correct.
Yep. Who else? What else is looking like? What's it look like in your market?
I'll chime in. This is Tiffany Todd.
Hey, Tiffany.
So I'm in the DeSoto, Glen Heights area, and I am seeing a lot of new construction. And I have an issue with new construction in Glen Heights. There's a community that I'm going to rename. I'm going to keep nameless, but the salespeople know me. However, their homes are well overpriced. And I'm bringing this point up because if a consumer goes without representation and they're not educated, they're going to be paying well above what this particular brand of housing is worth because they don't know any better.
I know which brand you're talking about already.
Yes. And so therefore, I think that it is important that as a consumer or as a realtor, one, you make yourself known to these sales reps so that they know when you bring in a customer or a client, they can't BS you because you got that working relationship and you already know, hey, y'all are selling this product for this, but this house is not worth this because right up the street, we have another little higher grade builder that's not even selling this. So that's really important to know.
Absolutely. Let me go. I see more in the chat right here. And let me just say this, to just jump on what Tiffany's saying. In this market, they need us more now than ever.
Hello.
Yeah. And there's a lot of people trying to say we're not needed, but we are needed more now than ever. From sellers to buyers, especially with new construction, because that game is getting dirty out there, guys. Birmingham market, new construction everywhere. Subdivisions constantly being built. It's probably 75% all new construction in my preferred area from Ashley. Victoria and Red Oak, she said most are already sold. We're seeing others who are talking about in Garland that they have them all over the place. So let me ask you this. Let me ask the group this real quick before John gets started here. What are you guys seeing in terms of wait lists? What are you seeing? Have you seen the builders changed their process of getting under contract, getting on the wait list? How are you guys seeing that right now? Because I tell you right now, I don't know about y'all, but I don't wait a whole lot. Are you guys waiting for your buyers to go under contract? What's the story there? Unmute yourselves, please. I want to hear this one.
I have 3 under contract right now, and it wasn't a long time. They went under contract pretty fast.
But did you have to wait until you can get your buyers actually under contract, going through some type of whatever their process may be?
No, not at all.
All right. Anybody else? Y'all not saying that a whole lot anymore? Oh, good.
Oh, I am. I don't know.
Yeah, I'm trying to understand because I know some of y'all in DFW with me, and I know I'd be seeing they talking about you can't put it in, right, Johnny? Are you seeing that?
I am seeing that. I'm seeing it everywhere, and there's a few things that I'm seeing because Tiffany said one thing. Tiffany said one thing, and she mentioned about the prices being overpriced and not worth it. I know. I don't know if we're all talking about the same builder, but I know a builder too that lost their mind. However, right?
Yeah.
I believe that all of new construction, if this is just a sidebar outside of what I'm going to talk about today in terms of getting new construction business, building those relationships, and how to come from places of contribution so that your clients win. There are areas, my opinion, right? I feel like in our market, and this is the part of our segment where we kind of just have open dialogue maybe before we kind of get into how to get the business. I feel like there are some builders who are not worth it anywhere, whether it be Glen Heights, Grand Prairie, Mansfield, Arlington, so on and so forth. I'm going to name the builders because it doesn't bother me. D.O. Horton, to be specific, I sell a lot of D.O. Horton homes. In this market, me personally, I do not believe these D.O. Horton homes are worth the foundation that they built on in comparison to the price, right? And this is just honestly, and I will say this on a webinar, seminar, publicly, even to my clients. When you have in Grand Prairie area, for those who are in the DFW area, D.R. Horton homes being sold for $500,000, that personally, as a professional, doesn't make any sense. However, the consumer is driving this market right now. There are outside forces, whether they be investors, right? Whether they be investors or people relocating that don't have realtors who are driving these prices up. As professionals, we know, like, we say, huh? A $500,000 deal, Horton home. Well, what is First Texas going to start at now? What is Rendition starting at now? What is, these other builders and surroundings? So just to piggyback on that, just in a different area, I personally don't think it's worth it. That's why I'm glad I bought a home when I bought one, right? Because even now in Haslett, because I have been all over. I sell new construction in every single part of the DFW, from Anna, Princeton, Fort Worth, Saginaw, Greenville, Seagoville, all the way down 35 to Waco, Texas. And I know a great deal of what things are worth. But I think as professionals, we are going to have to, when the market first shifted and we were like, this stuff isn't worth it. This is ridiculous.
Yeah.
But then somebody made it worth it. And then we saw it go up more and more and more. And it's like, what in the world is going on? Where are the rules? Who's appraising these things? Who's in charge? I'm still trying to figure that out as a professional and take appraisal courses, further my understanding and knowledge of that. But I think that's also why it's important for us, just outside of sidebar of this conversation today, to kind of be in, going to Austin and listening in when people are talking about rules and laws and things that are being, taking place, instead of, just thinking all the time, commission. But you have to get your business in a place where you have enough commissions to be able to take that time off, to be able to go and, learn what's going on in all of Texas. Because I think if we don't stay ahead of our opinions of what things are worth, our clients are going to miss out. And the market's going to run away from them and they won't have any opportunity. So D.R. Horton is just one, right?
Yeah.
And I sell a lot of those. And I even
LGI is another that's lost its mind. I mean, their product has gone up like crazy, and I mean, they're a step above modular homes.
And it doesn't add up. However, at this current rate, right, there's a different topic that needs to happen. It's like at this rate, it's what am I trying to say? At this rate, if you don't buy, what we do know is that you just won't have a place to stay. And the rent is going to surpass you. I think I made a post about exactly what Tiffany was talking about. And another vet in the industry said, well, as professionals, we need to be more vocal on stopping our clients from purchasing with certain builders or purchasing in certain areas where we feel that they are price gouging or even targeting. And I totally agree with that. Totally agree with that.
I mean, I believe that's part of our job, John, because if I'm selling a client a home, if I'm selling you a home and you're going to buy that particular home, and I know you're overpaying for it, and the market is going to turn eventually, guys. It's not going to stay wonderful forever. You put that particular client in a position of being underwater down the road. And who the first person they're going to look at and the first person they're going to be angry with is going to be us as realtors. All of our brokerages make us run comps for people, right? And sometimes it just doesn't justify what's going on in the market. But I think it goes further to see what I'm seeing here is you're seeing a great separation of wealth in this country right now. You're seeing the haves and have-nots, and we're a big part of that equation. Housing is a huge part of that equation. A $250,000 house 3 years ago was vastly different than what a $250,000 house is right now. I don't know about you guys' market, but in my market, it's a dogfight under 320, right? It really is. And so it is really, it's taking a turn. And I'm seeing a lot of people in the chat who are agreeing with you here, John.
Well, I think to wrap that up, because we can go on a long rabbit trail and talk forever just about what the prices are, and if we truly believe they make sense, or if we feel like a certain demographic of people are being targeted in certain areas to pay different prices, I can go on and on. Right. However, what I believe in, like you hit the nail on the head when you said inflation, right? Last year, I'm selling homes this year where the value has gone up by $100,000, right? And I'm just going to say D.R. Horton and pick on them because I sell a lot of them, right? I'm calling my reps and be like, what are y'all doing over there? But it's not just them. So we can't just pick on them.
No, it's all of them.
It's
Everyone's
all of
going up.
them, and it's every builder. However, they're in 2020, and I sent you those stats too, Sasha. But in 2020, the homes that I was selling for 250 are now starting at 330. In certain parts of the DFW, you know, they're selling 1,600 square foot homes for 350. I'm blown away. I'm just blown away. How, and those are in not, they would be what I would call not so much areas where I feel that people are being targeted based off of demographic. You know, I would say Haslett is more diverse than Glen Heights, Red Oak, DeSoto area, right? In short, though, I think what I've learned to do as a professional, yes, it is our duty to educate in terms of the market, the numbers, what makes sense. But I don't think that we as professionals believe that any of this makes sense at this point. Because if we must be honest, that's where we just have to be honest. We know
Right.
what we can talk, we know our skill set, we know how to read, you know, the market, the data. However, it doesn't make sense to make $100,000 in equity in 1 year either. So I've learned that our duty is to deliver that information to our clients, give our opinion, be like, nah, I wouldn't do it over here. However, we have to also realize too, and this is something I learned early on in coaching, is that after you deliver that information, deliver it. But after you deliver that information, you have to let the client decide what they want to do. I'm not going to
Absolutely.
discourage someone from purchasing a home, because I could say based off the appraisals and the CMAs that this house isn't worth it. And then we have a year like we had this year, and then all of a sudden the house is $100,000 more, and that doesn't make sense either. So
Absolutely.
now by me stopping that person and saying, don't buy it all, and then we get to another year waiting for the bottom to fall out, and then they're $100,000 in the hole, y'all, inflation is just happening everywhere. Groceries is going to go up. Like we've seen the shortages not only in the housing market, but in everything, whether it be chips for cars, you know, groceries are going to go up. So it's like, well, do you tell the person just not to buy it all? Because it's like, I would never, because there's things I would never buy. But that's why I'm just glad I purchased when I purchased. So we just have to, our duty is to give the information, show them what's happening. And then especially like I go over my buyer's consultation. Well, it doesn't make sense to buy that house at that price, but it also doesn't make sense for you to pay $2,300 in rent either.
Exactly.
Which we know is constantly going up, and it went up by 16% since last year. So just in that, I think we can go very, very long on that because there's different areas and it all is crazy to me. But I want to hit more so home on how to get this business, because
Let's pivot to that.
Somebody's going to sell it, and whether you, you know, if the person works with you or not, they're going to get what they want to get. Because one thing I know about adults is when we want something, it doesn't matter. And it doesn't matter if adults or not. When you want something, you're going to pay the price of whatever that thing costs.
Right. So Joe, let's pivot today. I got your 3 major keys to selling new construction homes that we talked about earlier. All right. So let's start there. Marketing in a new construction home arena. How do you actually do that? What advice would you give these guys here in this mastermind about making yourself look different and going after new construction home buyers?
So the advice that I would give, and Sascha, I just sent out a link, right? Survey Monkey. So I can gather this information, because for everybody who kind of stays, because I know we're virtually today, and I think we may have gone off on a tangent at the beginning, but for everybody who stays and finishes this webinar today, I do have some freebies and some bomb opportunities that I'm going to offer everybody at the end of it if you fill out that survey. But marketing is number one. And because I also chase rabbits, what was the question again?
Well, the question is, how do you distinguish and make yourself different in this market to be that expert that people run to for new construction?
It goes back to knowing your value add. What are you providing? Like you even mentioned, you did extremely well yourself last year, right? And like you said, we're 2 different people. We have 2 different branding strategies, marketing strategies. I didn't get in your way, you didn't get in my way. There's tons of other top producers also. I think it all goes and boils down to knowing your value add, and in your marketing, delivering that. Social media is where all of my marketing takes place. All of my business comes from social media marketing. All of it. Well, you know, I had a couple of referrals, but the majority of it is social media marketing. And in a social media space where there's so much noise, right? We are in kind of like a spammer society where we're just running from spam calls. Like we're tired of all the ads coming onto our news feed. So because there's so much noise, you have to be very specific on who you're calling out in your ads, right? So you can't be a generalist. I heard once that the riches are in the niches. Over the last 2 years, I have made $1 million in real estate commission checks just by picking a niche, which my niche is first-time home buyers. So in my ad copy, I'm calling out first-time home buyers, whether they be renters, whether they're paying a certain amount of money, whether they want to live in a certain area of town. Like it is, strictly to that audience. Whereas an agent may want to go general, and some days they post luxury, some days they post farm and ranch, some days they're just all over the place. So the number one thing in terms of marketing online is picking a stance, sticking to it until you see your fruit of your seed that you planted. Did that answer the question?
Drop your social media in the chat, please.
Excuse me?
Can you drop your social media in the chat, please?
Indeed. Let's see. Are you gonna do that, Sasha? Or I can. I'm over here typing. It's Elevation Realty Group. And then my Instagram is John _ Relentless Realtor. Yeah, but picking a platform, right? So my topic is the 3 keys to sell more new construction. And the very first thing is knowing who to attract and picking, and it's the advertising, it's the attraction. So when you're talking about advertising, especially on social media, so I pointed out the noise, speak to that person. If you are a single mom and you have a heart for single women, or you know what buying a home has done for you as a single woman, call those people out in your ad copy. There's tons of single, from my experience, women make home purchases, whether they're married or single. The woman is behind. Yeah, so even in the relationship, if he's writing a check, she's picking a house 9 times out of 10. So in your ads, calling out whoever that demographic looks like, right? And then 2, picking a platform and sticking with it. Some people want to be on TikTok. They want to be on Instagram. They want to be on Facebook. They want to be on Clubhouse. You want to be everywhere. Well, I don't know about y'all, and I don't know how deep y'all's marketing budget is. However, a lot of us are startup companies more so, small businesses. So your marketing dollars are only going to go so far. So drill in on one platform and go very hard on that one platform. I was always told you can't start a fire on a magnifying glass if the magnifying glass is moving around. So pick a platform, stick with it, learn it, and go for it, right? And then 2, coming up with a marketing budget. The truth is, I know in tons of classes, a lot of times, I think as agents, some of the courses I've taken, everybody talks about posting on your social media for free. Oh, just get on social media and post, whatever that platform is. However, now with algorithms, you got to pay to play. This is a business. So you have to have a budget set aside for marketing. Everything cannot be free, because that's not really a marketing plan, to rely on everything being free or just for referrals, because you can't really gauge. I don't think I have yet to have somebody give me their referral breakdown of how many past clients they have to call before they actually get the actual referral, or if they can set that on auto repeat without doing anything. I don't know. But to run a business, I don't think that's even a business, to just rely on just referrals. It's like, what are you pouring back into your business? So to have a marketing plan is what I believe. So I'm not a marketing plan, a marketing budget. So when you do receive those referrals, we do get these nice commission checks, you can pour back and sew them back and pour them back into your business so that you can get brand recognition, right? So picking a platform, sticking to it, calling out a specific audience in whatever your ad copy is, so that you're not talking to everyone, and whoever that one person is, they can stop and scroll and say, wait, is he talking to me or is she talking to me? And then they take action. Did I answer your question? I feel like that was so long-winded.
have a question.
Yes.
So I posted it in the chat, but I don't know if anybody saw it yet. But you were talking about using Facebook to promote yourself and all that. So if your sphere is not very big, and I'm like, I don't know how many people I'm reaching because I'm not friends with that many people. So do I open it up and make it public, or do I leave it private and let my friends share with friends? Like, what's your idea on that?
I'm going to say you need a business page. And the reason you need a business page on social media marketing is because a business pages give you the demographics, and business pages also show you the stats. And as in every coaching class I've ever taken, if you don't know your numbers, you don't know when you're at the brink of a breakthrough, right? Most people stop right before they get whatever they are trying to get. So with the business page, I say set up the business page, because the business page is going to give you those back end details about your audience that your personal page won't do. So then you can learn that and constantly continue to do those same actions or things over that produce the result. And if you are just posting and you don't have much of a budget right now, I would say if you are posting and only going to do a personal page, then to make it, I don't know why it's private. Why are you being?
Well, it's not a secret. It's just that I'm not very, what do you call it? Tech savvy. Sasha's my team lead, but I think at the same time I'm posting there, I should be sharing it on our business page.
I can say with Facebook, so somebody said, well, at least I think that was you on my particular about who I accept on Facebook.
Yes, you're right.
Well, I'm backed up like a Chick-fil-A line on a Monday coming out of a Sunday, because I have so many people. I've been capped out. I have 5,000 Facebook friends. I probably have a friend request list of about 1,500 people. So I'm trying to purge and move people over to my business page, so then I can add more people, because I'm accepting everybody to the personal page. Come on, everybody come, because I'm moving right on over to the business page. However, a stat about Facebook, most times they choose who sees your post. Sometimes we think that, based off the algorithm, because we made a post, everybody is seeing that post, but everybody's not seeing that post. The only way for you to get your post seen more is to pay for it, because that's where Facebook makes their money. Through advertising and marketing dollars. It's free to consumer, but somebody got to make the money on the back end, and that's through the ads.
Okay.
So yeah, so basically I've made $1 million just with Facebook. I've never deviated from the plan, where everybody was like, oh, shiny object, go to Instagram. You're a millennial. You need to go to Instagram. My business has not changed. I'm not moving to Instagram, because now I'm like, well, I'm starting to see myself change. I'm personally not on Facebook as much as I used to be, and I'm finding myself more on Instagram. Or my friends, they're like, Facebook? Like, how old are you? Are you what? So, however, the money talking though. So Facebook is still one of the largest platforms for marketing. So all of my business has come from Facebook. But this year I am branching out and gonna tap into some other platforms, because if I've done that just from one, you just have to pick, narrow, and go with that until you see the result. Let's see, John, how did you determine your niche? Is it based off of market research, or who you determine you want to work with? So my niche came from a passion, right? So the numbers that y'all see, and I'm gonna really talk about that, and but I just want to make sure that this is helpful information to the people that we have on here. That's why I'm also asking these questions about who's actually in the room, so I can cater my information to you guys. But basically, I have a passion about, so I grew up in a single family household. And in that single family household, my mom was a first time home buyer after a divorce. So she waited until after I graduated to buy the first home. Well, she didn't actually wait. She didn't graduate with her RN degree, so on and so forth, to have the money to even do so until afterwards. Well, she purchased a home through first time home buyer grant, which tons of people were telling her not to do and to save money. Well, right now today, what is that? 11 years later, my mom has, in Waco, Texas, over $200,000 in equity in her first home that she bought with a first time home buyer grant that she never would have done, because she didn't have At that time, $12,000 to put for down payment and closing costs. She had 3 kids and a single woman. So where's that money going to come from? Life continues to happen. So it's just, she's like, well, I'm going to use this money. And because of such, now she has an asset. And it was a passion for me because that's where I come from. So in that information, I started off by just, giving information, teaching people about the do's, the don'ts. I didn't buy my first home in real estate until I was 7 years in the game, because while I was selling and writing contracts, my credit was horrible. It was so horrible. And I knew what the qualifications were, and I didn't meet those qualifications. So then I started teaching people about credit after, I positioned myself with other people in the industry. And as I started having seminars and webinars, I started learning and making notes until I got it and understood it. And then I started making an admission to say, you know what? These are people I want to help, because that was me. That's where I come from. So then I started taking people from unqualified to qualified. And I started helping the people that people normally don't want to help. And by helping the people that people normally don't want to help, I created an entire highway free of traffic just for myself, because I can take unqualified people and make them qualified. And normally people hang up the phone and don't want to deal with it because we're in a commission only industry. So that's how I decided to pick my niche. I am now about to branch off into other niches. However, that's where I got my footing, and it all came from contribution. How can I help? What's a passion? Because when you are passionate about things, that's how I lasted in real estate for 5 years and being broke. I could have made more at McDonald's. So I would say picking a passion, picking something you know about or that you have relevance to. As we're talking about social media, I do a lot of times see people post luxury homes, or they'll go to the luxury builders and they will put on their personal social medias that they haven't paid for these grandiose homes, right? When their following isn't in their income bracket, especially in an inflated market like we're in. So it's like, who are you selling to? People do business, people that they know, like, and trust. And your platform that you're using, you're presenting a product that the ratios of return for your clientele or for your audience isn't purchasing that. So by trying to go big, you've missed out on the consistent, repeatable income that can produce the same results. Did that help anyone?
Definitely.
That
Definitely.
all day. I'm like, now why
Yes.
are you posting these multi-million-dollar homes? And in your what is it called? What is exposed? Your motive is exposed. Because I know a lot of times people say, oh, we're in real estate because we want to help. Well, yes, we all do want to help. However, this is not not-for-profit, and we all have bills. And those bills come every month. So although we want to help, we also want to make money. However, when I say your motive is exposed, because you truly only want to post those things, but you don't have that clientele. And like when Sascha said, when we talk about our different styles, and this is how I do my business. I don't want to chase business, and I don't want to beg. I don't know how they raised me, but it was something about begging or being a brown noser that I just cannot do. I can't do it. So if I show up, or actually not, let's not call it brown nosing, it's objection handling. That's sales. I don't want to do it though, because if you don't see my worth and my value that I presented, I don't want to work with you. Because instead of just selling $1 million home, I know that I can sell $300,000 homes like in a day. My average client only looks at 1 to 2 homes before they purchase. So I'm not going to go and chase a high-end client that probably wants me to show my worth, prove to them, chase them, get over here right now. You just have to choose. No, I'm not doing it. I don't care if you're buying a $5 million home, a 3, 2, or 1. I'm here to service, meet the need. And you're going to put some respect on my name and understand the process. I don't want to work with you at all. So one coach that I always listen to, her name's Wakita Jones. And if you went to Champion School of Real Estate, you know Wakita. She talked about her she money, and she said, I do not chase checks. Checks must chase me. Oh, they got to chase me, because I'm not trying to go for the multi-million just to say I sold one. Collectively, we're in sales. For all of these smaller or middle end checks, they do add up, right? And that's just a mindset shift to say, wow, I'm in sales. So I have to get in the notion and understanding that if I sell 10 homes, if I can shave down my time of what it takes to actually sell a home, whatever price point, at the end of the month, if those checks add up, then did I make more than a corporate level job? Did I reach my goals? How long did it take me to do such things? So I would just say for that person that may be posting that high-end home that doesn't have that audience anywhere in their sphere on their social media, to start thinking of the business as, what can I do to get back through contribution, and think of it as commission checks add up. And, two 250s equal $1 million. That's 500. See, I was just trying to make sure if y'all was awake. 4 250s equal $1 million. So if you can get a system set down in place to where you can do it quickly and effectively, I'd rather service those 250s and go from there. In our market, we know the 250 of the last year is now 350. So that's what I have to say about, social media and those type of posts. And yeah, did I answer the question?
Yes, thank you, John. That was very helpful.
Type of man, if I'm coming down the street, I'm just saying.
Hey, John, sorry to cut you off. John,
Yes.
sorry, could you let Sascha in, please? Because he got kicked out of the Zoom link.
Got him. Sascha, my brother, what is going on over there? You got net zero? He got AOL, the CD.
Hey, John, I have a question. This is Jessica. Nice to meet you. I have a question. So I know that you talked about with Facebook and having the personal page versus your business page. Have you found with transferring people to your business page that it opens the door to work with Facebook or now Meta? Because I know that they have certain programs and grants for small businesses and funding that they can give once you reach a certain amount of status or followers with your business page.
So what was the question? Because you spoke about Meta and you spoke about the grants.
Have you found that transferring the people from your personal page to your business page and growing your following on your business page has opened the door for more partnerships and for funding for your small business or your business with Facebook?
In terms of that, no, I haven't even checked into the metaverse, right? See, there's so much going on in these last 2 years, right? We can just be everywhere. And I have not even tapped into the metaverse. I've heard about it. However, I have got to cross over 9,000 followers on Facebook on my my business page, and nobody's reached out to me personally. But that's not at the top of. That's not at the forefront of what I'm thinking. See, for me, because you're talking about business grants and people reaching out by the following, I would be more, interested in taking advantage of small business loans, because we do have businesses. So if you have a great business plan, you shouldn't be afraid to invest. So because this is a business, not a hobby. I think that's why, a lot of the average realtors, they say, what is it? NAR is like 4 houses a year. Right. So I would say I don't really focus on that. I just do my marketing to get the action. I always have a call to action on my take them where I want them to go as soon as they respond to it. So I can't really help Jessica, right? Is that Jessica?
Yes.
I can't really speak on the metaverse. Yeah.
Okay. And my last question is, I've seen different realtors and following realtors, and like you mentioned before, some people have their personal Instagram and they have their business Instagram. But in the Birmingham market, sometimes I have seen with certain realtors when they keep them separate. Sometimes they feel like you only post business on this one and only personal, and we like the mix of the two. So in your market, have you seen where sometimes crossing and just having one page where you post both, so you get the best of both worlds is better, or keeping them completely separate?
I believe, right, and this could be a limiting factor for myself, but in terms of my business, it hasn't really limited me much at all. I think we're in a space now in 2022 where being you is the best thing to do. So if you're going to be you, people like people know I'm crazy from the moment they meet me. I'm gonna be cracking jokes from the very beginning. I'm very professional and I'm about the money though, so don't get it twisted. And I do know how to get serious. So when I started giving my facts, data, information, and telling people how I'm saving the money, so on and so forth, they're like, oh, he's goofy, but he knows what he's talking about. So I found in my own right that me being myself, whether it be personal or business, it works amazing for myself because people they do business with. One of the main principles in any coaching program is in real estate, people do business with people they know, like, and trust. If they feel like they know you, thank you, social media. They like you, thank you, social media. And they can trust you because you've shown consistent patterns of behavior and who you are. Why would they not? Does that make sense? So it's like, for me, I'm like, and I feel like this is everywhere, even when we look at shows like what is that, the List Atlanta show or Selling Tampa, then some of them women crazy. And you'll be like, what did they just say? Or what do they have on? Or is that really professional? Or whatever our opinions are, it's like they're being them. And that's why they're attracting certain clients because, this may sound funny, right? Well, never mind, I'm not gonna say that. All I'm gonna say is real people buy homes. So whoever you are being is you calling out whatever type of clientele you want. And a certain type of person can make a lot of money and they can also make not so much money. So I think that people appreciate and respect you being authentically you because you really don't know what you're gonna get if you're being a robot. So as long as you are providing the value and giving the information, hey, you're you. Because we can't be fake. Like sometimes we work 7 days a week. So you're gonna like put on the facade and the mat like every day. So I'm like, you know what? I'm just gonna be me on social media. And if you like it, you like it. If you don't, then I'm not your guy.
At the end of the day, they're going to look you up anyway. If they want to work with you, if I'm going to hire someone to sell my home, the most expensive asset that I have, I'm going to look them up, right? So they're going to look you up anyway. So you might as well be authentically you. And I don't apologize for being who I am. They either like me or they don't at the end of the day. So there's a mixing, in my opinion, guys, when it comes to your personal page to your business page. But the guy you see on my business page is the same person you're going to see on my personal page. I'm going to speak how I speak, like I'm speaking right now. But so you have to find what makes you being comfortable, just being yourself. And I'm very comfortable when people say, I don't want to work with that dude. Deuces. Bye, Felicia. I'm good with that. I just want to work with people who want to work with me. Life is too short to get with people who, don't want to work with you. But let's keep going. I'm sorry, guys. I just got a message on my Facebook community page. They're cutting our internet lines here. So now I'm running this off my mobile hotspot. So that's why I keep getting kicked off.
So and to wrap up this first key, y'all, is basically knowing how to attract business. Because, and just to hone in on the market, how crazy it is, being you, all those different things. If you are, I was always taught, when you lead generate, you don't have to tolerate. You don't have to tolerate someone not liking you because you're like, oh, I have 20 other people in line because I'm such a great marketer. And that's where you want to be. It's like, oh, you don't like me, that's fine. I have some business practices and structure, and I let everybody know exactly how my process is going to be because we're all 1099 entrepreneurs and no one realtor sells real estate the same. This is how I get my results. So if you hire me, this is how it's going to be. Oh, I don't like that. 3 other people down the road said that's not what they do. Well, you may need to go hire them because I'm not doing that. And that's why I have the results that I have. So I would say get very, very good on attracting who you want to call out. And if you're going to attract a certain audience, know that audience. So I'm not saying that you can't be a new agent and do luxury, because you can. But if you're going to service luxury, a luxury person, that's a lot of money. They want to make sure that person knows, has experience. How long have you done it for? Right. So I think that it could be pretty hard to break into. And I don't believe in, saying, oh, well, if I get lucky or there's going to be that one, I don't want just one. I want an entire market of them. Right. Because at the end of the day, like Sascha said, people are going to look you up. So get very knowledgeable. And if you can talk the language, then whether you're new or not, you're going to be right in the door. So call out your client. But in order to call out your client, you have to know your client. So the first key is, to wrap that up, is being an expert and expert marketer. The second key to selling more new construction homes is going to be standing out with the sales reps. A ton of business and deals that I have done is because I have built relationships with sales reps. So when a hot sheet home comes onto the market, they're calling me first because they know typically, especially at the beginning of the year, first 2 quarters, last year I was working with 10 to 20 approved buyers at a time. That's value. So I'm not going up to the sales rep saying, oh, here's a basket of extra gum because I want to be that extra agent for you. There is not no time for the cute treats in 2022. Now they may like your personality, but at the end of the day, they're just as busy as we are in this market. Their phones are ringing off the hook. They're not answering the phone sometimes. Maybe, and I don't believe, and especially in this market, the builders and these builders have really showed their salespeople how much the builder actually cares about them, because they really don't care about them either at all. So it's like the salesperson has a job, and they're like, at the end of the day, I got a quota to meet, and I got to sell a certain amount of homes, just like we got a quota to meet and a certain goals that we have set for ourselves to reach. So coming with them with value to say, hey, I've got what you want. I know my audience, and this is what I bring. So thinking, how can we be strategic partners? How can you stand out? What value can you add to them? Do you have a following? Does your team have a following? Do you have some type of marketing capture or something of value that or something they perceive as value? Is most of the times it's the business. They're like, how can we close more business? Even if you don't have the business and you're a newer agent, get creative. Like, can you do drone footage? Do you want to do some videos like where, so don't come from a place of begging, because it can come across as begging. When there's so many of us, y'all, there's only so many of them. There's more of us than there are of them. If everybody's coming with the same approach saying, hey, my name is Sally, I'm with XYZ Realty, and I want to be a trusted person. Here's a basket of goodies. They're like, okay, that's cute. But 10 people did that in the last month. And I'm over here, I'm speaking for the salesperson now. Me, salesperson, I'm stressed, I'm tired. I'm trying to keep up with the demand just like y'all. Appraisals, shortages, client complaints. Like, they're like, that was great and all, but I've got homes to sell. So how can you help me, the salesperson, sell more homes, just like you, the realtor, wants to sell more homes? That's the ultimate value. So really writing down, because it doesn't matter if you're new or experienced, you can really mastermind or either just brainstorm what is value. How are we going to get business? Because at the end of the day, the sales reps, they're your business partners. And when you start sending them that business on top of your personality, oh, now you got immediate buy-in. They're calling you first. They're telling you when the deals are coming up. They're telling you who's on the hot sheet homes. And in 2020, because the rules change, because these new construction rules keep changing, they got us on our toes. At first, it was musical chairs, right? It was then we started, it's whoever gets first, it was whoever got there first. Then it was, okay, now we're going to do lotteries. I'm going to tell y'all, I have never played the lottery. I'm not doing that. I'm not standing in the line. I'm not about to sign a client up for a waiting list of over 100 people. I am not doing that. This goes back to number one, become an excellent marketer. So if the house is not available, we need to move on. If they have an inventory list, we're not going to do the lottery. You can write your name down, but we need to go and look down the street to see who else got some inventory, because you said you wanted a home, and all I know is last year around this time in February, home prices were going up by $30,000 a month. They were doing price increases every single month. So I don't have time to play it to chance and hope and pray. Like, because you should have prayed before you even got your approval letter and started this part. Like, we're not going to get into the field. They hired us to give them real live market data, information, stats, give them the lowdown and what's happening in real estate, and to get them across the finish line, which is keys. So if we're playing the game of, oh, well, I hope they pick me. Oh, no. What are you doing? That's a disservice to the client. You hope they pick you. What are you doing that you do get picked?
Hey, John, real quick, I'm curious what they're going to say. Guys, what have you done to make yourself stand out from a marketing standpoint to be helpful towards that new construction sales rep out there? In the chat, or just unmute yourself, what have you guys done? I'll tell you, for example, with Chatman Realty Group, we do walkthrough videos, and I get those phone calls all the time from people looking. I do it on YouTube, so in other places like that, and of new construction all the time. and someone would hit me up and say, hey, I want to buy this house you showed online. Now that house might've been videoed 6 months ago, but that's now starts the conversation. So what are you guys out there doing to make yourself look different and helpful to that sales rep?
I'll chime in real quick. One thing that I started doing, and I was just kind of playing around with this, but I started posting, like if I'm going through a new construction on my story. And what I noticed is because the story seems to be a little bit more intimate, you can't see people commenting, then I'll get inboxes. Hey, what community is this? Where are you located? Versus if I put it on my Facebook page, then if they don't want everybody to see them asking, or I had one lady reached out and in my story, and she was just kind of hesitant because she knew other realtors and she didn't want to, I guess, offend them or whatever. So it worked out because it was in my story. So I started doing things like that in my story, and I get a better response versus me putting it on my actual Facebook page. And that's just me. I don't know about anybody else.
That makes a whole lot of sense, actually. Never thought about it that way, but it makes a lot of sense. Anybody else?
So Tiffany, the only one out here slanging these real estate and things.
I got Priscilla saying that she's using it on Reels. I can speak on that. That does very, very well. In fact, we have an agent in our network who is absolutely just crushing Reels these days. I mean, literally, she's getting 1.2 million people looking at her page because of her Reels. So Reels, I'm seeing TikTok. People saying TikTok, that helps. I'll tell you one thing, guys, that I'll do. I will video once I have a video. The question is, how do I use that video? I can go to YouTube, I can go to Reels, I can go to Instagram, so I can bomb that out to people, okay, to your database. And then let me just say this: sometimes you need to do those type of activities to get your buyers who kind of fell off a little bit. It's nothing like seeing a small little tour of a home as a touch to get them interested again in buying a brand new home. Okay. So just know sometimes we got to have several touches when it comes to our buyers. But if your buyer gets stale, when they see a home like that they really like, it just clicks, and you have to be in front of them with that. So, and let me just say one more thing about.
Sorry.
Go ahead.
No, I was just saying thanks for that to all of y'all, because I'm as a newer agent, I tend to think I need a client to, to go and do videos on homes and stuff. I'm like, okay, they're gonna be looking at me like, where your people at,
Oh no. Let me tell you something. And John can speak on this as well. Man, these builders know me. I go up in there all the time, and I'm helpful from this standpoint. When they're sitting here backed up in their slam, there's one building in particular. They only have one salesperson in there at a time, right? And they're slammed. And I'm going to go do what I need to get the information, get the hot sheet, go shoot a video or something. And I see that salesperson slammed. I'm like, you want me to grab them real quick? And they're like, yeah. Because it's not out their pocket if they get a realtor. And I just start talking to them because I already know their product a little bit. Now, guess what happens? That person becomes my client in the builder. We're going to go ahead and get the house sold. So just being helpful is great. I've never taken cookies. I've never taken a basket to a sales rep. I've never done that. What I take them is value, and the value that I can bring them more people who want to buy that house. So just like John, when these houses hit the hot sheet, they're calling a select few realtors before they get out there. So there's builders right now that will hit me up, Sascha. Hey, we're about to send this email out. Just want you to know what's what. Hey man, do you have anybody looking for a 3-2, yada, yada, yada? Bet. Let me check my database and see what we have, and let's get on that. So, but they're not going to do that for everybody if you don't have the relationship.
May I add something to that, please?
Yes.
Okay. Right before, well, maybe a year before COVID hit, I was selling some Lillian homes out in Waxahachie, and I didn't do anything besides I was just nice to the rep. And she called me one day and she said, Tiffany, she said, you're always very pleasant. You have a great attitude. She said, I'm going to be out for a couple of days. Would you like to just come and sit in here in the office, and whatever leads come in, you can have all of those? And I said, yeah. And so what happened was she started, if she was gonna be out, and I guess she had manager approval, but if she was gonna be out, guess who she was calling? Me, to come and sit in the
Wow.
office. So
And that's
it
a great
pays
position to
to,
be in.
yeah, pays to have those relationships with them, because it's a plus.
So,
That's a great relationship to be in. And here's a good thing about that. When they need a house to sell, they get somebody on the contract and they need someone who can sell the house. They go to the agents who are more professional. They have a relationship with first. So it's not just by selling the house, being a good buyer's agent for new construction. You're going to pick up listings this way too, guys.
And I've actually picked up a listing for my new sales reps that I work with. Because like you said, every time, just because people are touring their neighborhood, those people may not qualify for that specific neighborhood, or they probably can't buy in that neighborhood. So then they think of you, and then they send it to you. Or either if they do have someone who is contracted, but they have a home to sell, then they're like, whoa, wait, before you put that on the market, let me call my people that I know. Well, now you're selling off market property because they had just contracted with someone on a brand new home. So those are kind of the benefits of building those relationships.
Absolutely.
I just think it all goes back to, like you said, knowing your value and being an excellent marketer, because we're in a numbers game. And if you can't put up the numbers, then you're just having less opportunity to be able to practice. So whatever your strategy is, just think in terms of how can I do more with less, because you're only one person. Even if you're on a team, if you're just a buyer's specialist, or you work with listings, or whatever the case is, individually, to think, how can I bring a multitude of people with my efforts? That's why I say I don't do a knock anymore. Some people do great, they love it. I've gotten business from door knocking. However, I had to look back and say, do I want to knock 100 doors in the Texas heat as an individual, or do I want to do something that can market to over 100 people, strategically through marketing online? I can reach more people online than I can going door to door. So it goes back to, because I always do, when I think, I'm like, how can I get this result on a big scale?
Mm-hmm.
You don't have to have money. You just have to have a vision and a plan of action. Because if it makes sense, you're going to get the buy-in that you need. So, and then that will pay for whatever you need to be paid for, because it just makes sense. So whatever your strategy is, if you can produce large numbers, or you can think big with that, I think everybody, especially in this market, it just creates more opportunity for you to win. Because if you only have one or two agents, it's not even about getting one or two agents anymore. Because not agents, one or two clients. Because now you got one or two clients, but where are they going to go? We're in a housing shortage. That's
right.
why I was working with 10 to 20 at a time, because we weren't showing everyone at one time. But when one home would come available, I say, okay, I have these 5, they fit that need, we're going over there. Another type of home just had to, fell apart, came back onto the market on the hot sheet. All right, now it's y'all turn. Let's go and service. And then now I think we're seeing too, where we have areas that used to be the country that are not so much the country anymore. Red Oak, the demographics have changed in Red Oak over time.
Very much so.
Oh, dramatically. Red Oak this is opinion. Red Oak to me is now the new DeSoto. It wasn't like that. Waxahachie, growing up, Waxahachie was country. People are moving to Ennis. They work in Irving and Dallas. Where else are they going to go? People are moving to Cleburne. I'm trying to figure out now, why would you move? Do they have a Walmart? I don't. These are jokes, but like Cleburne, why is there a toll road down Cleburne? What's going on? However, Cleburne's home prices, they're jumping.
They are jumping up, and I just put someone under contract in Cleveland 2 days ago.
And they're moving there. So I think at the end of the day, it all goes back to, especially even if you do get the leads, even if you do create that relationship, it's knowing and perfecting your craft. It is taking opinion out of it and then saying, okay, what's happening in the market? Because I don't know about you, but I would never move to Cleburne. And I know tons of people who are moving to places they have never moved or were never willing to move before. in Washington and what is it? Washington, Virginia area, how people live in Washington, but they drive in. I mean, they live in Virginia, but they drive into Washington.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
do you think it's part of the affordability?
Texas, we're like, we're not doing that, but now we're starting to travel more, commute.
Hey, John, do you think it's part of the affordability? Because I think that's what I'm starting to see out there is people moving to more rural spots because it's more affordable out that way. And I'm seeing young people living lifestyles that I didn't think they would live. Like, give me 5 acres and some chickens, and they're 22, 23 years old. I'm like, you sure?
Because even when you talk about, I have one ad out right now that's talking about getting an acre of land starting at 500,000. Some people, and I love, let me tell y'all about me. I love making ads that make realtors go, huh? You can't do that. I'm like, yes, that means it's a great ad because you think that it can't be done, but it can. So that's like an acre of land, 500. Where are you building that at? Like you said, Sascha, in rural areas. And these are custom homes. Because me personally, I would rather buy a $500,000 home on an acre of land that is a true custom and have to drive 45 minutes an hour. I was talking to my lender about that. I was like, it looks like I'm about to drive. Because these little boxes that we selling in the city that are not, there's not nothing custom about it. Is literally, I'm like, what is that? With no yard. I'm like, no, I'm glad I bought one I did because I would just, it looks like I would be driving an hour is what I would do. And I would never say that in the beginning, but it's like, now you have to decide what's most important to the client. Because like Sascha said, they may be within the drive and the suburbs are pushing further and further out.
Yep. Hey guys, we're coming to the end of this mastermind here. Like I said, John, thank you. We're going to ask for, is there one more question that you guys want to ask John real quick?
The last one, because I know we went on a tangent because we were kind of answering questions and stuff. What I want to do before we close out is give that last key, and that's conditioning your clients to make sure that your clients have proper expectations set.
Yes.
Because I can tell you one thing, the sales agent is not going to like you if you send them a whole lot of bull. Because, you know, we're in a great I think people this year, and I don't know if y'all can and maybe chime in or agree, but I think with all that's going on in the world right now, people's expectations are off, right? They're off. People are more rude.
Absolutely.
Like, I don't know if y'all have experienced that, but it should be expected kind of because the world isn't normal anymore. We're operating into what some call a plague, like things, we try to keep moving like things are normal, but they're really not normal. And everything's inflating and everything's everywhere. So I would just say setting those proper expectations with your client will help you further build that relationship with the new sales rep as a third key, because when you use that will also help you stand out. When you arrive to them, they will say, wow, Tiffany or Donna or Joyce, Lisa, every time I do one with them, because then it becomes not just even about the deals. Every time I work with one of y'all's clients, they know everything to expect. I love it. It's such a joy working with y'all versus these other 5, it was complete hell. So those are my 3 keys. I did put in the chat box what is it called? A link to a survey for this class. Like I did say, Sascha, as we conclude, that I wanted to give the people an opportunity to get some more information, because I know we kind of went long-winded and we had to come to an abrupt stop. But when y'all do fill that out, I am giving access to my top 12 marketing, apps that I use for my marketing. I think that'll be very beneficial to new agents. I'm also giving away, let's see, what is John giving away? Because it's about y'all, not me. My top 7 secrets to make multiple 6 figures in real estate, basically the ultimate cheat sheet. Those 2 things are going to be free. And then I have some other awesome things that if you're interested in, you can sign up for. That will give y'all some more information past this topic of discussion that we went through.
Awesome. Well, John, we really thank you, man, for coming on here. Like I said, I always enjoy talking to you. Every time I talk to you, I learn something new. And I enjoy the fact that we're building relationships. And as we talk about this, guys, we're building relationships beyond brokerages. Don't let being part of brokerage A, B, and C stop you from learning and connecting with a really good individual that you can learn from and grow your business. I hope this was very helpful for you guys. I will be sending back out to everyone who is on this webinar The next one we're going to be doing here, the very next one we're going to be doing is going to be talking about BombBomb. I am a BombBomb expert. I'm going to show you guys how I've used BombBomb to really engage my clients, convert them quickly, and stay in front of them. I know a lot of people get on technology and try to stay in front of their clients and don't do a great job on it. But we're going to make sure we get that out to you guys. We're going to be doing these masterminds here from Real Estate Tech Ninja every other week. Okay. And we're going to do them we'll do them live right now over Zoom until we can start doing those back in person. But as I like you guys, we're going to make sure we all get past this little process we're going through right now with COVID, and then we'll start getting back and doing something in person.
All right.
All right. Thank you all for signing up. We appreciate it. And if you have any questions, I will make sure on the follow-up email, we have John's information. You have my information. Feel free to reach back out to us at any point in time. You guys be blessed and go sell some houses. Set a goal for yourself and go sell some houses this weekend.
Thanks, Sasha.
All right. Thank you, John. I'll hit you up.
Thanks, everyone.